evening to you wherever you are watching us from. This is an English edition of Dalsan TV. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. Let's have a look at some of our top stories. Somali government calls on Somaliland to end the violence in Las Anod. Close to 8,000 teachers sat for the teaching exam. Good evening once again. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. Somalia's Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre has kicked off the teacher test exam in Mogadishu. The exam was set for 7,581 applicants from 4 states and the Benadi region. The exam took place in 22 centers across the country.
Somalia's Prime Minister Hamza Abdi kicked off the teacher exam in Mogadishu. The exam was sat for by 7,581 applicants from 4 states and the Benadi region. The exam took place in 22 centers across the country. It has 2 phases. The government will hire 3,000 teachers to expand access to education for the low-income community.
Anta waxaa sida la sheegay imtixaanka galayso 8,000 oo macallin oo Soomaali ah oo 8,000 qof waliba uu rabo inuu ka mid noqdo 3,000 waxay ku galayaan 22 goobood 21 magaalo 12 magaalo afwan 22 goobood iyo 11 magaalo magaaladan caasimadda ah 10 meelood.
The Somali Prime Minister Hamza wished the candidates good luck and hoped the country's education scale will improve, pledging that his government will expand the quantity and quality of the public schools. He expressed concern over the old schools that were turned into residential places during the civil war, and he calls on the Somali people to return control of the buildings to the government. Nomadic culture as well as ongoing conflict and natural disasters deprive children of their right to education.
Now, the head of African Union Transition Mission, Ambassador Suf Al-Amin, has commended the Ugandan police force for their contribution to security and stability in Somalia.
The head of African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, ATMIS Ambassador Mohammed El-Amin Saif, has commended the Uganda police force for their contribution to security and stability in Somalia. Ambassador Saif made the remarks when he presented medals and certificates to a contingent of 160 Uganda police force personnel who completed their tour of duty in Somalia. He commended African countries for their continued support towards Somalia's restoration of statehood after decades of civil strife. The acting ATMIS Police Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner of Police Landre Ogonlowo, lauded the outgoing contingent for their distinguished service in providing escorts, securing strategic government installations, and conducting joint patrols with the Somali police force, among other duties. The outgoing contingent commander, Senior Superintendent of Police Esau Opio Atarom, thanked the police officers for their teamwork and other support of the Somali police force in securing the 2022 parliamentary and presidential elections. Jeventen Euku expressed confidence that the new personnel are well prepared to implement assigned tasks to ensure the success of Africa Union Peace Support Operation.
Ahmed Fiqi, the Minister of Interior, Federal Affairs and Reconciliation, has called for end to the fighting of Las Anod, the capital of Sol region. The minister has reiterated the position of the federal government of Somalia.
Ahmed Maalam Fiqi, Somalia's Minister of Interior, Federal Affairs and Reconciliation, has called for an end to the fighting in Las Anod, the capital of the Sol region. The minister reiterates the position of the federal government of Somalia. He urges both parties to end the battle by demanding that Somaliland authorities withdraw its forces from the city, underscoring the importance of the humanitarian access to the displaced people. In the last few hours, there have been reports from Las Anod of the fighting between the local forces and Somaliland. The fight today resulted in casualties which have yet to be confirmed. The chairman of the Somaliland House of Representatives called to end the war on violence that affected the basic life of Las Anod's residents. Abdirashid Khalif, the chairman of the Somaliland House of Representatives, made a strong accusation against the Somaliland administration and suggested that the army be removed from the Sol region. According to the United Nations, 89% of the 185,000 internally displaced people from Las Anod and surrounding areas were women and children who lacked adequate shelter. The Red Crescent said that some people had already been moved out of areas where there was severe drought because rains kept not coming. Today, Somaliland forces withdrew from several areas, including the Tukaraq area, the border checkpoint between Somaliland and Puntland. After the withdrawal of the army loyal to Somaliland, MPs from the Somali parliament reached Tukaraq. After the withdrawal of the army loyal to Somaliland, MPs from Somali parliament reached Tukaraq. The Somalia's Disaster Management Agency distributed food to the people in Las Anod, who were hurt by the conflict.
Thank you so much for watching Dalsan TV. My name is Abdelrazak Ali. Have a good evening.